Come out to the bar.
Hello YouTube, cheers and welcome to The Basement. My name is Bruce Lively.
And I'm D-Boy Slim.
And The Basement Debates is the first daily hip-hop debate show. From Tuesday through Friday, we tackle the most intriguing topics in hip-hop culture and the world around it. So, welcome back, Basement family. And one of our fans, Michael Henry, special shout out, gave us a topic idea. Said, what's the greatest 5 albums from the 90s? Well, obviously we had to do that. This is gonna be fun. Here it is. The best 5 albums, the top 5 albums of the 1990s. Let's get to it. With that being said, Lego. And fun it will be. Let's see if you can do it, man. Who do you have?
Hopefully Bruce ain't jack my style and all of that, man.
Here we go. Already with the excuses.
Try to bite my list.
Already with the excuses.
Let me just let y'all know D-Boys and the official best 5 albums of the 90s. Man.
That's the official joint?
It's because I'm saying it's definitely, it's official. How can it get more official?
Fam.
How can it get more official than this?
Fam.
Right? So, alright.
I already know.
I ain't gonna hold
It's
y'all.
already unofficial at that moment.
I ain't gonna hold y'all. Y'all know better than that. I can't go without. Because when I think of the 90s and you say the best albums, I'm gonna just explain my criteria real quick. There were certain albums that shook up the whole culture, that had the whole culture upside down and progressed the culture, that moved it forward. And like I said, it rocked the culture to its core. It made you look at it like you had to pay attention to what was going on to that at that time.
Okay.
And when I think of those albums, you had Wu-Tang 36 Chambers.
Oh.
Classic, you already know. It started a movement. I'm quite sure the kids in Korea and China right now still tell you like Wu-Tang.
Facts.
They was one of the first. I remember them branding their clothes and all of that, having the Wu-Wear store and all of that.
The very first.
Just on different levels, like. But that Wu-Tang, like I said, 36 Chambers started it all. Also, I'm an East Coast kid. Can you tell? Right. So. Nas Illmatic. You listen, if you, like I said, listen to your favorite rapper, right, from around that time frame, because these young kids, they may go and disrespect Nas on some other type time, but from that time frame, from that era, go ask your favorite rapper, who Busters, Fat Joe's. I mean, I've heard it all, and they tell you like when you heard Illmatic, it made them go back as artists and as MCs and say, you know what? I gotta step my game up. There's a guy that's kicking lyrics intricate like that. I have to this is where it's at right now. I have to step my game up. That's who Nas was. Like, when you heard the way he was spitting and what he was spitting about, you had to step, and it's no disrespect to anybody, but at that, you're talking about 93, 94, the stuff Nas was talking about and how he was putting it, how he would take simplistic stuff that was from the blocks of New York City or the projects in Queens,
paint the picture,
and illustrate. See, he said paint a picture. Notice I said illustrate.
Exactly.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Nas, I learned that from Nas. Like, that's Nas right there. Like, he would take the simplest stuff and make it into something like, okay, now you have to re-examine what you thought about this, what you thought about Project Life, what you thought about a hustler in New York, what you thought about a kid that's 16, 17 coming up in New York City. Like, now it's because there were geniuses. There's Harvard people that study Illmatic. There's Harvard philosophers. Am I wrong, Bruce?
Facts.
There's Harvard philosophers that break down Illmatic like, yo, Nas, man, Nas. But I ain't gonna hold y'all.
You got 36 Chambers, you got Illmatic, 3 more.
Doggy Style.
Oh.
Somebody might say, yo,
wow.
you got the New York, you got all the New York, but let me not sit up here and act like the 90s wasn't primarily dominated by the West Coast. Let me not act like that. Like, it was dominated by the West Coast. The album that did it, well, we could argue, was it Chronic? Because Chronic kind of ushered in that new sound from Dr. Dre, ushered in what they were talking about as far as, you know what I'm saying, like carrying on what NWA was doing, you know, late 80s or whatever. But Snoop was the album. I was in high school then. I specifically remember people saying they were sleeping outside to get a CD, to get a tape, like to get an album. That was different for me. Like I don't remember hearing that. Maybe I could be young or whatever. I didn't Beastie Boy. I don't know if that had been done before, but I remember hearing, and especially from a West Coast artist, like. But I had never, like, that was big to me. His anticipation for his album of Doggy Style was crazy. But when you finally heard the album, tell me a track that was whack on it. Like, you be hard pressed to find a track on the Doggy Style that you could say that was garbage.
Good choice.
You know, the track was, because first of all, you're not gonna say that about a Dr. Dre track, especially not back then in 94, 95. And Snoop was hungry, straight out Long Beach, Crip, LBC, all that. Like, he was hungry back then. So, and the chemistry that Dr. Dre and Snoop had is still unmatched. So, yeah, that Doggy Style was it. Let's be honest, it shook the culture. It shook the rap world, shook hip hop. It changed it. It innovated it. It progressed it. It moved forward because of that. Big. Big. Ready to Die. I mean, let's be honest, man. He took the game. Like, he took the game. Like, Big took the game. Like, I don't care who had it before or who was currently popular at that time. And it was, like, from the East Coast.
Let's talk about how Puffy, the genius, decided to take a gangster rapper off the corners and put him to 80s pop music and took over the world. It was ridiculous.
I can't take anything from Diddy, right? I would never.
But you couldn't have done it without Big. I'm just saying,
I would
like,
never take anything from Diddy. The charisma
you needed that
Biggie Smalls had. He was stamped and certified. Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. Diddy was not that. Big, man, like, Big did his damn thing, man. And then, you know, like I said, charisma is what comes to mind when I think of Big. Smooth, laid back delivery. Or he could get rough with you. He could talk like how his frame, his stature was. Like, he was a big guy from Brooklyn. Like, he could rap like that, or he could sit back and tell you he was the smoothest and flyest nigga out here with the Coogee and the Versace, like, and pop the bubbly. Like, you wanna have a good time, shorties, fellas, put the gun away. Yo, Big, man, Big. It didn't get smoother than Big, man.
Come off the top of the head. That's why I write the notes. It's so many.
You know, it's funny because you want to laugh, right? You're like, oh, where you gonna go with it? Like, oh,
I need to see where you gonna go with it.
Southern playalistic.
Oh, that's why I hate when you go first, man. I should have went first.
And I'm gonna tell you, at the time, you might not have been able to tell. Who could have ever predicted Outkast would take it to the heights and depth that they took it to? Nobody could have ever predicted that. But you knew one thing, and that's what Andre said. They had good music and they had something to say.
It's like this though. I'm tired of folks, you know what I'm saying? The closed-minded folks, you know what I'm saying? It's like we got a demo tape and nobody want to hear it, but it's like this, the South got something to say. That's all I got to say.
If it's one staple everybody's always said about Outkast, oh, these Southern rappers and this and that, boom, boom, boom. And I think they took that stigma away. They helped embrace what the South was bringing, so to speak. They helped you with that. Like, they helped you embrace it. If you said, oh, these Southern people, they don't pronunciate their words a different way. Outkast did. Andre did. Oh, the music is this, or that booty shake. I remember at the time the booty shake was popular.
That was all the South had.
Outkast didn't do that.
Not all, but
they didn't.
Especially Atlanta. That's what it's known.
They had something to talk about. Oh, they only glorify the pimps and the Cadillacs down there in the South. Outkast had something to say, and it started on that Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music album. Honestly speaking, some may argue with me, others have their own favorite. Artistically, speaker below or whatever, they was out of here with that. I give you that. But hip hop album,
Southern Playalistic.
I think Southern Playalistic is, to me, you may get an argument. I know AT Aliens. I know Aquemini. I know. I listen to them 1,000 times like everybody else. Classics, but yeah, okay. That Southern Playalistic. That's my 5.
That's 5. You had Illmatic, Ready to Die, Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music, Snoop Dogg, and 36 Chambers.
Yeah.
So, in the interest of time, you're correct. I like a lot of those. My top 5, I'm just going to name them because I don't have to go over what he already says. Illmatic. This is top 5, no special order. This is just top 5. Illmatic, definitely one of the best, in my opinion, hip-hop album of all time. Just happened to come out in the 90s and happened to be Nas' first joint. Illmatic.
That's a fact.
Okay? And I'm not the only one who says that. Let's just talk a little bit about it. Since he said what he had to say, let's just look at the production on it, since that's really what I do. Large Professor, DJ Premier, Pete Rock, Q-Tip, and LES.
That's a fact.
These are
classic producers,
known as the best producers of all time, and anybody who doesn't name them when they're saying best producers of all time just doesn't know hip-hop.
Missed it.
To have that on the same album as one of the best rappers of all time is hands down top. If you don't think it's the best, you know it's one of the top 5. Ready to Die. I'm not going to go into that because you also went into that. One of the smoothest. I talked about Puffy, the producer, and how he had magic hands and turned a street dude off the corner into a pop star without changing who he was. He just mixed the 80s beat in there a little bit. It was genius. It was 4 times platinum. Hip-hop, that didn't happen like that. It didn't happen like that back then. Right now, hip-hop is on top, and the younger guys out there don't know that in 90s, early 90s, to go 4 times platinum in hip-hop without adding Walk This Way or Talk This Way, without putting Aerosmith on your album, it didn't happen. Outkast is in there, but AT Aliens. Ooh. Not only did it was it number 2 on the Billboard Top 200 chart, it sold nearly 350,000 copies the first 2 weeks of its release. And that's not just marketing. That's not just LaFace Records. That was because ever since Elevators came out, it changed the landscape of Southern hip-hop, period. And that gets to my next point. I'm talking about rap skill and cultural significance. In all my top 5, I'm talking about rap skill and cultural significance. I have different criteria for top 10 and this show and that show, but when we're talking about the top 5 albums in a 10-year span, we're all gonna be talking about classics. Yes, Snoop was a classic, but the rap skill that Andre showed, that Big Boy showed, oh man, got stopped in the mall the other day with a cat from the other way, talking about where you came from. Oh my
classic
God.
Line right there. That's a classic line.
Man, I live by the beat like you live check to check. If you don't move your feet, then I don't eat, so you like neck to neck.
People knew Andre was Andre after that.
That was it. And it also changed the South. That's why it's here, because of its cultural significance. Not only the rap skill was better than most, the cultural significance, it changed the idea of Southern music forever. and which we're still dealing with today. That's the album that did it. 36 Chambers, I'm not going to repeat everything he said, but this is the first time you've seen 8-9 dudes come together that can all rap on one album, and I have to say, it was the beginning of what was called the East Coast Renaissance. I like what you said about Snoop, because the first people to stay outside was for the Snoop Dogg. West Coast had it on lock. 36 Chambers was the first time it happened on the East Coast. It began the East Coast Renaissance, where the East Coast was coming back again after the West Coast was dominant. After Ice Cube's KKK's Most Wanted. That was the biggest thing that had happened before 36 Chambers. 36 Chambers came, they were lined up around the block to see it, and it was the first time. So it began a new renaissance. That's cultural significance. All 8 rappers could rap. That's rap skill. That's 1, 2, 3. That's 4. Illmatic, Ready to Die, ATLians, and 36 Chambers. I said it all, but I want to talk mostly about this one, Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Took it left on me.
If you want to talk about cultural significance, who were the female rappers in the 90s? Foxy Brown, Lil' Kim. The first time, and I just so happened to hear a documentary on NPR the other day, the first time that a woman ever wore dreads, period, and was in fashion magazines and was considered okay to talk about what she talked about was Lauryn Hill. Right now, you have to remember that in the 90s especially, it's a male-dominated sport controlled by male operators. And so you don't get the female side of it. She was the first to not have to wear a bikini and high heels and make it off of just rap skill. There is no Eve without her. Not only that, she went 8 times platinum, damn near diamond. Are you listening to me? Cardi B is still yet to go 8 times platinum. And she's broken almost all the other records on the Billboard charts. When you're talking about cultural significance, I have to say, for the women, for the females out there, there's not one that's more significant in the 90s. They're not talking about Queen Latifah, we're talking about the 90s. They were all portrayed as the same thing, the same way. All of them could swallow Sprite cans and talk about how gangster they were. Lauryn Hill made it okay to be a strong black woman once again. And that has probably changed your daughter's life without you even knowing it. It's changed your boss's life without you even knowing it. And yes, it even changed my life. And I knew it when I heard it. Santana's on the album. Like I said, 8 times platinum, 41st annual Grammy Awards. She took home 5 Grammys with 10 nominations. First female rapper to even touch anything like that. It changed the landscape. That's my 5. Miseducation, Lauryn Hill. You got to check it out if you haven't before. 36 Chambers, ATLians, Ready to Die, and Illmatic. So we have a difference with the ATLians, and we have a difference with Lauryn Hill. The rest of them are the same. What you got to say? How's Snoop gonna do what Lauryn Hill does as far as cultural significance? Let's be honest.
I ask you, as fun as you, say that word again?
Cultural significance.
Who is still culturally significant today?
Lauryn Hill and Snoop. Like I just said, I just heard 3 days ago Lauryn Hill being talked about for 3 hours in a documentary on NPR.
Because I'm gonna keep it a stack. Like,
I just heard it. I'm not making that up.
Bruce,
I'm not making that up.
It's not even a competition right now. You know good and well Snoop has a show with Martha Stewart right now.
Facts. These are facts. But we're talking about the album at its time.
And this is why I said I'm gonna keep it a stack though. Miseducation at its time, she spoke for the women, and her representation of the women at that time was unmatched and may still be unmatched. And that's why it may still be culturally significant.
That's the only reason why.
You understand?
That album.
So I'll keep it a stack with that. However, Snoop, not only, like, before that little time in history, it was a predominantly East Coast driven sport. You had NWA breaking through.
That's what I'm saying.
And that was it, though.
No,
the reason why they were big is because they was the first to do it out of Compton.
This is why I brought up 36 Chambers, the East Coast Renaissance.
That's the 80s, though. So we said the 90s. So hold on a second. Let me finish. So you had NWA that had broken through out as far as the West Coast was concerned, and Ice-T. Again, people always bash E now, rest in peace, because he didn't write his own raps.
No, they don't always do that. I was the only one who did that. That's okay.
You're not the only one. You can look on my Facebook or look in comments and bloggers. When people speak now of Eazy-E's legacy, it's not the fact that he didn't build a legacy, but when people speak about his rap ability, it's shadowed by the fact that he didn't always write his own raps.
All right, go ahead.
Boom. Where I'm going with this is, when Snoop came out, you had a legit, bona fide gangster rapper, which in turn, the phrase was coined gangster rap. Now people say, like I said, you give NWA the credit for helping usher that in, or that culture in, but Snoop was the poster of that throughout the 90s. Doggy Style was the catalyst, and was I said it right, was the catalyst for that. Doggy Style, that was it. That was the manual in the booklet. This guy was LBC Crippin' on Dr. Dre beats. It got no smoother, it got no gangster, and for that, when you say culturally, what was the word you used? Significant. Let's look at the Nipsey Hussles now. Let's look at the Snoop Dogg's in the games now.
All right,
we have those without.
I got you. So check it out. That is noble and is real. The other thing that I'm saying that happens to be a little bit more significant than just that is the fact that there were no women in hip hop, and the only ones that were there.
That's not true.
So wait a minute. The only ones that were there were literal archetypes made by male-dominated people. The ones who was swallowing Sprite cans, and the ones who was wearing high heels and bathing suits. The other thing about it is that didn't just change the culture of hip hop. That happened to after Snoop Dogg was America's Most Wanted for Ice Cube, and then was the East Coast Renaissance. That goes back and forth. One thing that hasn't changed was the female being portrayed in hip hop, the black woman being portrayed as something other than a sex symbol, being skillful in the 90s, went from where it was to where it is now because of her, i.e. I just heard NPR talking about it again when they're speaking about these same women's issues. You can't even put a date on that. You can't say how culturally significant it is because it's still being significant. Again, that album in the 90s.
Miseducation was culturally significant and had a deep and profound impact on the culture. I can't allow you to say that was the only one or the first of the 90s. Queen Latifah, although may have started in the late 80s, I'm talking 89, Latifah's had it up to here in UNITY, some of her biggest joints.
91. So what happens is
some of her biggest joints was in the 90s.
So I'll tell you why.
MC Light.
That was
MC Light. I Need a Roughneck, Georgie Porgy. Culturally significant.
So allow me to say what happened. Allow me to say why.
Yo-Yo.
No, come on.
Yo-Yo.
Come on, stop that. So allow me to say why.
West Coast female MC. You say stop it, but
she's not good. So
she was okay back then.
Yeah, so we're not talking about okay. We're talking about classic, period. That's not classic, bro.
But what I'm saying is the content.
So let me give you, so let me tell you why what I'm saying is what I'm saying. When they started to put the heels on the women, when it was after this Queen Latifah and after the Lady Lights, okay? That was 91. What I'm saying is when she came out is when that was dead, is when that was forgotten, is when being a strong black woman was put to the side in hip hop popular music. That's why now that when I say that when she did it, it actually stuck again. That was brushed to the side, no fault of their own, but they just didn't have the big enough voice yet. Hip hop didn't have the big enough voice yet.
The Latifahs.
When she came out and had Santana on there after Fuji's big hit, they finally had the big enough voice to make the difference that lasts till today.
He said Lauryn Hill's Miseducation over Doggy Style. Y'all let us know what was more of a...
Also ATLians over Southern Playlist.
What made more of a cultural impact? I think we know the answer to that. Although may be some females that may weigh in different. So let me not say that.
I'm a man. I can see that.
Let me not say it different. And there may be some men that feel, maybe Miseducation was more culturally impactful or significant than Doggy Style. But
get out of yourself, guys, and look at it.
I think we know, when we talk West Coast, you talk the 90s, Death Row, which was the biggest movement going in the 90s.
All right, check it out. So you guys leave those comments, and I'm gonna give you guys the shout outs right now. Maheen Mexican, big time shout out to you. I hope you became a patron. You said you was gonna be. Keep on watching us, man. My Tribe TV, I forgot to shout you out yesterday, but he said I like Big and Tupac freestyle. Keith Murray on Rap City Basement freestyle. Woo! I forgot about that one. There's a lot of Rap City Basement freestyles I forgot about. Big and Anything. Big I Anything? I don't know that one. Is that? I don't think that's the one on Clue Tapes. But right on for the shout out. Okay, My Tribe TV, All Out Attack. Appreciate that on your freestyle picks. Maheen Mexican, thank you. Bloods, Crips, and Essays. You know you got a special shout out. Said Papoose is a conscious rapper. Love to all the conscious rappers in my book. KRS-One, Cube,
Facts.
Cole, Kendrick, Tupac, Public Enemy, Paris. I didn't even know nobody knew who Paris was. Thank you, Bloods, Crips, and Essays.
That's one of his dudes too. Yeah, y'all try to put these rappers in boxes and you can't. You can't. That's what makes a rapper a great rapper.
That's what's up, man. Q being a conscious rapper, I'm not sure about that. That's a stretch.
Ismail more conscious than gangsta over the years, and nobody even peeped it.
Yeah, over the years. Ismail and Gadamsi. Ismail Gadamsi said Marlon Craft is amazing. The guys who watched the live show yesterday, I mentioned him, and I guess he checked him out. Appreciate that, Ismail Gadamsi. Appreciate that, Bloods, Crips, and Essays, the web series. Appreciate that, Victoria Apijay, Victoria Apijay, or Apijay. I'm sorry. I wish I could pronounce it. Victoria Apijay. You're the one who's a new subscriber, and I wanted to shout you out. Mr. Beats said, nice one, bro. Shout out to Mr. Beats. Y'all check him out. Bo Jackson, y'all check him out. Said, wow, I got to still go with Brother Ali over Crit. Crit is nice, but Ali has more messages, and that's all I'm saying.
That's what Bruce was trying to say.
Appreciate that, Bo Jackson. Victoria Apijay again told us about Logic mixtape and a few other things that we need to look out for mixtapes. Appreciate you, Victoria. Chia Fade Now gave us his top 5 freestyles. Black Thought, Loaded Lux. Which Loaded Lux freestyle was that?
People don't know about that Lux freestyle. He went crazy too on Flex too. I know what you're talking about.
Number 3, My Song. Number 4, Papoose. Well, I guess that's on the the original MTV Basement. And number 5, Joe Budden's freestyle. Which one was that? Okay, that's what's up. Chia Fade Now. You got your shout out. I like that list. And you said you have honorable mentions. Let us know. Also, new subscribers, Terry Shaley. New subscriber. Money Gang ENT. New subscriber. Cortez Beach Producer. New subscriber. Everybody check every one of those people out, and we thank you. We've already gone way over right now. That means it's not going to be uploaded till Thursday, but hey, this is Wednesday's show, and that's the basement for today, people.
We out of here. Appreciate all the love too. Keep subscribing. Link Bruce for the beats. We on deck, and what's the mine is kind of Patreon page.
Go check us out on Patreon.
That's why it's my partner right here.
Man, go check us out on Patreon. You want to hear more of this? Support us.
The Basement.
Peace.